Good morning, Canadian Yarn Heart. My name's Alyssa, and today I'm going to be making this ribbed hat. But I made this one using DPNs. I'm going to make this one using straight needles. So I'm going to move you over to the overhead cam, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be making, as I said, this hat. This was used using DPNs. This will be used using needles, straight needles. So I am using this Just Premier yarn I got from Dollar Tree for $2. This one is the colored Iris. It is a super bulky 6. It does recommend an 8mm needle and an 8mm hook. I am going to be using I don't know if you can see that, but a 6mm hook, because the cast-ons are going to be 6mm needles. And then I'm going to change to a 7mm needle. So we are going to be using multiple sizes, and I am going to get started in just a second. I'm just going to clean up my table quickly. So now what we want to do is we want to leave a little bit of a tail. You're going to make your slip stitch, put your hook in. Now you're going to cast on 56 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to keep going until I have 56 stitches. I will be back when I have that. So here's my last stitch, my 56th stitch. So what you're going to do is you're now going to do a ribbing for 2 inches. So you're going to knit 1 down behind, pull your yarn in front, knit this way. You're going to do that for 2 inches. So I'm going to continue on until I have 2 inches. I will come back and I will show you what we do next. Okay, so there's my 2 inches. Maybe not quite. I can do a couple more inches. So I'm going to do that. Chenille is not the easiest yarn to work with and to see. That's why I'm not spending as much time as I would showing you exactly what I'm doing. Chenille is a little harder to see with. It is 100% polyester, which is really good for retaining heat. That's why it's good for hats and babies. A lot of this yarn gets used for baby blankets. Know that it'll be a warm blanket if you're using it for a blanket. I have changed my mind. I'm going to use my Susan Bates 6.5mm for when I change up size, because I really do want a little bit of a tighter look on each stitch. So we're just going to keep going. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. If you're a new viewer, welcome here. I appreciate you coming in and seeing what I do. I do hope to earn your like and subscription. I would love to hear you in the comment section below with any questions, comments, concerns, even just to say where you're from and what crafts you like doing. I love to hear from you. I am still relatively new to this. I am learning, so do excuse any mistakes I might make, or try to correct. I will. If you are new, there are a few videos you will see me try something and it may not work, and I will come back and I'll tell you, nope, that didn't work, so I have to do this now. And I'm willing to show the mistakes and what goes through. What I like to show is how long projects can take, because I know a lot of people think these projects, a blanket can take a day. A lot of times a blanket can take up to a month's worth of work. I mean, depending, and that's just a simple basic one. Something with a little more skill and expertise, intermediate patterns, they can take 2-3 months, even a year. I had a blanket that took me 5 years because I avoided doing it for a while, but I think the actual work took about a year's worth of work to do. So I do think it's important that people understand this is going to take time. It's going to take, I mean, if you're here just to enjoy watching it, thank you. I appreciate that so very much. If you're here to actually do it, it is going to take time. It does take time to make these projects. That's why I do try to show what I can. There we go. We've got 2 inches now. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to change to my larger size needle. And I'm going to change the pattern now. We're going to go from ribbing to stocking stitch, which is knit a row, purl a row. So before you were doing knit a stitch, purl a stitch, this is a full row of knit. And then you will do a full row of purl. That is what is called stocking stitch. And it is my, easy go-to, the easiest stitch you can truly do short of garter stitch, but I do find garter stitch is not as appealing. And garter stitch is just straight knit stitch. So you just knit each row. This one you will knit this way, which means you put the needle in the front, wrap around it, pull back out. So you see how you go into the front of the loop, and you just keep going. Now you can knit this way. I do not. I do knit this way. It is called knitting in the back of the loop. I do it when I start knitting any project that I have used a crochet hook to start. So if it is a crochet hook that has started the cast on stitches, you will find I will definitely knit this way. But otherwise, I was taught by my grandma when I was very young to go this way. And as I have stated in many videos, if you haven't heard my tip about running the needles through your hair, it is a great tip to use your own oils to oil and condition the needles, even if they're acrylic. So I'm going to do that right now with this needle. I'm just going to run it up into my hair, making sure I get as much as I can with it. And now it will glide a little bit smoother. And now if you notice, I am coming behind the loop and I'm wrapping in the front. That is a purl stitch. So you're going to do that for the whole row. Now you're going to do these 2 rows for your entire project equals 8 inches. That's how long you want to do your project. So I am now going to go do that. I will come back and I will show you how to finish this off when I get to my 8 inches. I will see you in a minute. So I do apologize. I just noticed that my camera had tilted. I do try not to have that happen. Every day it does. Sometimes does happen. I try to catch it, but I just caught it. So from now on, the video should be good. As I said, I'm just purling that same row. And when I come back after my 8 inches, I will then, unless you'd like my hair, I'll show you how to do another knit row since I'm showing you how to do purl again in the right way. So you just put your needle in the back and you wrap around. Needle in the back, wrap around and pull through. This is a very smooth motion. In, around, down, and through. Very simple to do. Very easy if you give yourself the time to learn it. Not everybody's as into yarn and knitting as I am. I've been into it for a very long time, but so when we get to the end of this row, what you're going to then do is I'm going to run the needle through my hair again, because that way you get both needles conditioned like you like them. Now you're going to go, see, we're purling, I was this way, knitting, I'm this way. So purl, knit. And you're just going to knit, wrap, back through, and pull the stitch off at the same time. So you pull back and pull off. And that's pretty much what you're going to do for the next 8 inches. So when I come back, I will have my 8 inches and I will show you what's next. Okay, so I've only gotten about 5 or 6 inches, but I'm going to show you how I attach chenille yarn. I definitely try to pull all the fiber off of those 2 strings. And then you're going to roll the ball. It really is one of the best tips I've got for getting yarn out of the center of it. And then you can just put that back on. Now you have to find this one's end. This. There we go. And you have to do the same thing. You have to pull all this yarn fuzz off of this end. I have tried so many ways to get this yarn to attach. This really does seem to be the most optimum way to get it to attach. And the bonus of doing this particular yarn this way, you don't really have any tails. You have no tails other than these little strings, which can easily be worked in. There is no other evidence, and you are done. So I'm going to continue working on. I thought it was important to actually show that part. So I'm now going to keep working on until I get to about 8 inches. So I will be back when I have 8 inches. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have my 8 inches. I did have to do one more knit row than I thought I would, but so now you're going to have a tail. You want a long tail. And you're going to trim. You want to grab your darning needle. Now this, you're going to want to grab each stitch off of the needle. So you're just going to keep grabbing them. I do like these bent needles for that. And all you're going to want to do is pull off. You can leave it on and try to re-loop. It will happen. It can do well sometimes, but I don't know if it'll do it this time because I did it on straight needles. I have the ability to do it on DP double pointed needles, but straight needles, sometimes you won't get the proper turn when you have to. So a lot of times with straight needles, I don't tend to re-loop these. And that is not always a good thing because it can break. I will try to re-loop after I tighten it. I'll show you what I mean. So let me just keep coming. So now we're done with the needles. So what you're going to do is you're going to come and you're going to tighten up. And you'll want to come over here. And if you can manage to go around again, just try and get as many of those stitches back as you can. Sometimes you can do it. Some yarns you can do it. Apparently that one allowed me to do it. And now you're going to darn the edges in. So you're just going to try and grab the bumps. And you just want to sew them up. And that is how you're going to finish this hat off. It's just by sewing this way. You just want to darn this edge in pretty good because this is a hat. You want to make sure that the hat has a good seal as best you can make. And you're just going to keep grabbing loops. And if you do accidentally do that where you pull it, you want to just kind of give yourself a little bit of that. That's why you want to try and double around that loop, so that way you don't accidentally pull it loose, because you don't want it loose. You just want this seam loose so you can get it on your head. You're just going to keep seaming down. Now, if you want to tighten it up so that you don't have to keep worrying about how much you're pulling, double back on yourself just a little bit, go back 1 stitch in a circle, and that will prevent you from pulling on it and making it too tight when you don't want to be tight. And then you just pull back just a little bit, give it just a little bit of breathing space so it's not cinched, if that makes sense. You don't want it so it's too tight like you did at the up here. You want that one really, really tight. And we're at the ribbing. Just going back and forth on this one. So you get them on the same row. And I'm going to double back on myself on that one, just because that's the final stitch. So you want to make sure it's a nice tight stitch in there. Tighten up. Double back on yourself just a little bit because this is the inside of the hat. Sew up. Go. That one up. Grab this tail. And then I will pause you and I will take you over to my head mannequin so you can see what it looks like on the mannequin. And then I am done this video. So as I said, I do hope to earn your like and subscription. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm about to take you over and show you what it looks like. So we'll turn it inside out and I'll take you over right now. So there it is. There's the hat. I'm a little bit farther away, so I'll get a bit closer and I will turn it around. There's the side of it. There's the seam at the back you will be able to see. And there's the front of it again. So there it is. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again. Bye.